Hi, I'm Kate Benny from Zec Media, and I have with me here today Naomi Ferstera. Naomi is an entrepreneur, an exercise physiologist, and a lecturer with over 16 years' experience in the industry. She is currently studying a master's in human nutrition. She runs an exercise physiology clinic on chronic disease management, along with group training, and she is the creator of an online 8-week program called the Eat Fat, Get Fit program. Educating people on the human body is her passion, and Naomi does informative Facebook Live videos daily on her Facebook page. And she's also the mother of 4, which is including twins. So I'm sure that you're super, super busy from the sound of that. Welcome, Naomi.
Thanks for having me, Kate. This is excellent.
Terrific. Okay, so Naomi, just to start off, can you just tell us a bit about how important good health is for business owners?
Look, I mean, good health is important, obviously, for everyone. But as a business owner, your time is your money, and if you can't do the things that you need to do on a day-to-day basis, I mean, that costs you not just in the short term, but it's ultimately going to cost you in the long term too, as projects get put behind, as you can't meet deadlines. Good health is something that should be a priority for business owners, because we recognise that we are our greatest investment, and unfortunately, I don't think we're probably investing into ourselves, as much as we possibly could be.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, so most business owners are super, super busy, as I am, and I'm sure you are too. We have so many different hats to wear and so much to do. So what would you say, if you had to choose just 3 top priorities for entrepreneurs and business owners, what would those 3 top priorities be so that they can perform in their business at their peak performance?
Yeah, sure. So my top 3 are pretty straightforward. The first would be sleep. I find that for myself, if I don't have a good night's sleep, the next day it's really tough going. I do a lot of writing. I do a lot of reading, research, and literature, and trying to figure out which way the industry is going. And for that, I need a pretty clear head. And I know that for a lot of business owners, if they're dealing with numbers, if they're dealing with tax or legislation, you really need to make sure you are fairly, what's the word? You're, just lost the word.
Alert.
More sleep. Maybe I need more sleep. But basically, you're on the ball there. So I find that the sleep tends to, affect every part of the business. And then the next 2 actually tie into helping us have a good sleep. So the second one is, eating well. In particular, over the last sort of few decades, we've seen this whole fear campaign about fat. But fat's really important for your brain function. And if you don't have enough fat, you can actually find that it does affect your cognitive function. So I find that by eating adequate fat, particularly your omega-3 fatty acids, so things like salmon, mackerel, herring, those sorts of fatty fish, they're a really good source of omega-3. That's really important for helping you concentrate and for, making sure you've got that really great brain function. So nutrition is a really important one. I'd also caution against eating too much sugar. You get the highs and lows with sugar, and if you're having a really processed type diet that does include a lot of sugar, you get that afternoon slump, and it just means that you're not particularly effective in the afternoon work hours. And then also just being careful with the caffeine. If you go crazy on the caffeine, unfortunately, it can have an opposite effect on you. So you can become, having those crashes rather than being nice and awake. You sort of end up being a bit down in the dumps. And then again, tying back into getting good sleep is exercise. I find that if you are exercising every single day in some form or another, I think we think about maybe the biggest loser all the time type exercise, and we think about these crazy boot camps where people are, getting smashed from one end of one part of the episode to the other end of the episode. And it doesn't have to be like that. Exercise can be going for a walk. It can be going for a swim, a hike, even just going outside and doing, a few squats or, up and down stairs, whatever it is. Exercise promotes, good cognitive function. So it helps us to think, it helps us to clear our mind. And if you're a bit stressed, in particular with the work that you're doing, going out and exercising is a really good stress buster as well. And I find that when you when you exercise and when you eat well, you tend to sleep much better as well.
Excellent. Those are great tips. Thanks for that, Naomi. So, Naomi, tell us a bit more about your Eat Fat, Get Fit program.
Yeah, look, we're my sister and I are in the business together. My sister's down in Sydney, so we've always got, some little issues with communication sometimes, but we've been working really well on this for the last 12 months. Basically, I was introduced to a type of eating called low carb, high fat, also quite similar to it as the ketogenic diet. And I found this diet when I was pregnant with my twins, and I was being told to eat all this fat, and I was really confronted as to why I should be eating fat when I thought it was so bad for me. And it sort of set me on this path. And so for the last 5 years, I've been following this way of eating, and it's been a game changer for me. My dad is a type 1.5 diabetic, so he has type 1 diabetes, but it's managed with medication and food, so he doesn't take any insulin. And he has been thriving following this way of eating as well. And I've just found that my clients, when I switch them over to this way of eating, they see such huge health improvements. So we put together this program focusing on low carb, high fat, intermittent fasting, high intensity exercise, and also using education as a means of enabling people to take what we've done and then apply it to the rest of their life. Just runs for 8 weeks. It's really about building a platform. We're not expecting to see, massive changes in 8 weeks, but what we're trying to do is lay the foundation for people so that they can go on and do it for the rest of their lives. And we've got people who have basically been following along our program for 12 months, and we've seen such incredible progress, and we ended up bringing out a boot camp version of it as well. So the very low calorie ketogenic diet, a little bit more gnarly, a little bit more hardcore, only goes, the very low calorie component only goes for 4 weeks, and we've really seen some outstanding results just by switching some of the dietary interventions around. So it's all pretty exciting at the moment. It's still fairly new. We've only been going for 12 months, so we have a long way to go.
Great. Excellent. And I know that I follow you on Facebook, so I know that what really sets you apart is that information and the education side of it. I've learnt so much from you that I've never even heard before. So, yeah, it's fantastic information that you have. So what's the best way for people to get in touch with you or to learn more about your program?
Okay, so you can find us on the internet. Obviously, you can head to my website, www.naomiferstera.com, or you can head over to Facebook, Naomi Ferstera, Eat Fat, Get Fit. We're also on Instagram and Twitter. Just search Naomi Ferstera, and just contact me via Facebook or via the website. And if you've got any questions, I'm very responsive to any emails or private messages that come through, any questions that you have. We also have a document that we've done for people who are concerned about our program, particularly the high fat component of it, which really goes through the program rationale. And I've got research links that you can take with you if you want to go to your GP and have a bit of a discussion about whether or not this would be suitable for you. So, yeah,
terrific. That's great. Well, thanks so much for joining me, Naomi. I've got a bit of extra motivation now in the lead up to Christmas to be able to start implementing some of those tips. And so thanks for joining us. I can highly recommend that you go and check out Naomi's program.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I'll see you later.